we saw that we have completed our IT assessment flow and the IT work management flow. Okay, so there is one thing I need to add here, which is if whenever we create update status, create IT assessment, here we need to update the status. So status value, and I will set it here pending. Okay, so it will automatically set the status value pending in the IT assessment list. Okay, so I'll open IT assessment list in new tab. This is our log list. Okay, so we will check one by one. So here you can see IT assessment list, and here automatically status will updated with the pending. Okay, so now once the request is created here in our work details and it approved by, once the request created then approved by site manager, then it will uh, add the details in IT assessment. Okay, so IT assessment add create the entry in IT assessment list, and which is assigned to the respective department head. They will get the email notification. Up to this we have done. Now we are moving into the this part, as I have saved this. Okay, so just a moment, I'll just save it again. Okay, so now this part is, in this part we move into the basically the power apps and how we can utilize the power apps, because once whenever we click on a new and we see all the fields, but expected fields from the users are the work title, work details, uh, then selection of a department. These three fields are expected from user, but here we can see there are multiple fields. So I will go and here I say customize form. Okay, so we'll start working on customization of the list forms based on the our means on for the list, means for new and edit. Okay, so let's see how it will work. So we check, we wait for the form. Meantime, I just go and see work ID will automatically update, work title, work details, and user will select the work site and department, means four fields expected from users. Okay, so once the form is open, we will create the new form with the four fields only. So it's taking a time. So what we are doing exactly means whenever user click here, he will fill only those four fields and submit the request. And whenever he come here and click on the this request ID, means this will open the form, which is a view mode only, because all the remaining fields automatically updated from the flow, like implementation date, total efforts, status, site manager comment, operational manager comment. These fields are getting automatically updated. Then here Mahindra site manager, means all the fields are updated automatically. Okay, so now I'll go into my power apps. It's taking a long time. After that, what happened on edit, also we will put one more. This is a view form. Okay, this is a view form. On this we put here work log details. Once user click on work log, he will get all the details. At the top we maintain the status. Okay, status means what is the request status, so that user quickly highlight the status, where is my request pending. And if you want to check the additional details, so we have created the user log uh, in our log list. Here we can see here execution logs are there. So from execution log, user will understand means what logs he needs to expose to the user. There are many logs, but there are different type of logs. Here we have created developer logs, and some logs are, those are the user logs. These are the user logs. Okay, so what we are doing, this is also the user log. Okay, so means user logs will be exposed to the user on the screen, means view screen. Here we can get the work log tab. This is what I'm saying. See, again I will repeat it. Once user raise the request, okay, here he will see work detail, work title, and then these two fields, then he will, after that he select the uh, IT department, so field is not visible here. So only four fields he will fill. First is the work details, work title, and here say IT DEPT, and other is a site. Okay, initially site and then IT. So 1 2 these 3 4 fields filled by the user, then user submit the request. After that, sorry, work ID is not there, work description, this will not work ID, work ID automatically populate. Okay, after that, user role finish, user just keep watch on the view. Okay, so in view what happen, here user will see the all these fields. Okay, all these fields, those are in a read only mode. Okay, so user, even though he click on edit, nothing will happen. Okay, so here we keep the one button here. Here we keep put one button, and the button name is work details, or I'll say approval details. Okay, so once he click on that, user click on that approval details, what do you see? He will redirect to another screen. With this work ID. So once he redirect to another screen with this work ID, on this screen what happened, that another screen we are creating the gallery, and in that gallery we are displaying the our logs from our list, that the flow logs list. So here we are displaying our logs, and those are the user logs. User logs are displayed here. All the users logs are here against that particular work ID. And once user will click, he will get more details about this log, who approved, and other details related to the logs which is in the log list. Okay, and here, so again we come back to our view form. Here also one more field we will put here, and I give here IT assessment details. So we rename it IT assessment details. Okay, so here IT assessment details, what happened, once user click, this is a view form consider, once user click on IT assessment detail, again it will create another screen, IT assessment screen, consider IT assessment screen. It will open the IT assessment screen. Again in IT assessment screen, again it will IT assessment screen open with, again this ID will pass to this IT assessment screen. And here also there is a gallery. In that gallery, all the items with a respective mahi, one is our ID, and then here the atom will be like ASAP, then here ERP. So these kind of items, once user click on this item, okay, it will display more details about it. This what details, tentative date, then efforts, those are, and status. Also work ID and all these fields will be displayed, but those are from IT assessment list. From which list? Those will populate IT assessment list. Okay, and here from the log list. If user wants to check the approval logs, he click here. If want to, these two buttons will display on a view form, means this form which is already open here. Okay, means that form we are going to develop in our Power Apps. Okay, so after that we'll provide the back button on each screen. So back button. Okay, so once they click on a back, again they redirect on this screen. Okay, so here I can see this is the first screen, which is the display screen, only display. This is the second screen for lock screen, and this is the third screen. Okay, so these three screen you need to develop and design it as per our requirement, and we maintain the status here. After this mahi 9, here we can enter the status here. Okay, so here status will be displayed at the top in a bold manner, so that it will quickly catchy to the user. So like this way we design our things, and again once our things are ready, so what happened once the things are ready, our work details form is ready, and means user interface at the end is ready. User interface at this stage is ready. Now the next stage is that means up to this we are fine. Means up to this we are fine. Then site manager will approve his request from the email only. Now here, again here they will redirect it to our list. Okay, our list is which list? They redirected to the IT assessment list. So once we go in IT assessment list, once user come here, But this needs to be open in a edit. So in edit we keep only three fields open to the user, which is efforts, tentative date, and one more is status, which is status. Okay, so once he completed, he will mark the status as submitted. Once he marks the status as submitted, fill this tentative date, fill this efforts, and once he save, okay, you need to put the submit button here in a flow, or save button. Okay, here we can put the submit button. Once you submit the button, this field updated and say submit. Then these three fields are only the accessible to the department IT head, and other fields are read only. Work detail, then work ID, work detail, IT department side. These fields are only read mode. Okay, so this change we need to implement in a IT assessment form. That's it. These are the things we need to implement in a both list. So you need to implement that, and you need to complete this. So all the details I have explained here, you need to implement it. Okay, we stop here. Thank you.